Kamala is going for the bro vote. The vice president is hoping to close the gender gap with male voters who are backing Trump in droves by making a play for dudes who love Bitcoin and trucks. Harris held a packed fundraiser on Wall Street to declare her friendliness to cryptocurrency. But that's after Trump went to a Bitcoin bar in New York City and said this.
Everybody that's a crypto guy, crypto maniac as I call them, because they really are that. They believe, right? But everybody, whether it's Bitcoin, but crypto, get out and vote. Because if you vote, we cannot lose. We cannot lose.
Kamala is also trying to connect with all the alpha males out there by having Tim Walz post cringe videos of himself working on a truck. Watch this.
Look, to be able to work on this thing, you got a manual. It shows you exactly what to do to fix things on this. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance have a manual, too. It's called Project 2025.
You know, I'm going to go right to you on this, Tyrus. The Project 2025 is not Trump's. He's disavowed it. He's disowned it. He wants nothing to do with it. I have a feeling he's not really a guy who can fix a truck either.
My first question is, why is that not an electric truck? What is going on? You're going against that's like outrageous and ridiculous. And really changing the air filter and doing the oil pump. Oh my goodness, that was some serious trucking right there. Listen, you spent the last 3.5 years saying we were toxic and everything that was wrong in this country was man's fault, man this, man that. These bros are saying no go, and the crypto in trucks. No, it's fishing in trucks, working out in trucks, not crypto in trucks. They're just out of touch, and Waltz touching the truck was, you could tell it was the first time he's ever touched a truck. Like, his hands aren't even dirty. And you don't change a clean air filter with another clean air filter. I'm taking crazy pills. Being a man means you get dirty. So don't do another one unless you got oil in your hands. You're actually doing an oil change. And while you're doing it, your wife is yelling at you because you forgot to take trash out and you left the seat up. Those are what men do, not this stuff.
All right, Jessica, why does Kamala always copy Donald Trump? It started with the, the tax on tips, and then the camo hats, and now the child tax credit.
The child tax credit?
Yeah. President Trump started it, and then she upped it. She upped it, and the camo hats, and the tax on tips, and now crypto.
So, A, that's not true.
Okay.
B, child poverty was cut in half when the Biden-Harris administration implemented the child tax credit, and the Republicans got rid of it. If Tim Walz is as terrible and embarrassing as you guys think he is, why does he have a +7 favorability and J.D. Vance and Trump both have a -13? And Kamala's at +3. What's going on? What's going on with this loser with the clean air filter, right, that people seem to like?
With a capital L.
The overtures to the crypto community, not only did she raise $27 million on Sunday, but Donald Trump's been all over the place. He was against Bitcoin before he was for it, right? He said it was a threat to the U.S. dollar. Then he was like, oh, well, maybe I could change my mind, get another flip-flop under my belt. He doesn't even make any sense when he talks about it. Listen to this quote, talking about his new crypto business, which I'm sure will go bankrupt. But crypto is one of those things we have to do. Whether we like it or not, I have to do it. It's crypto, it's AI, it's some of the things. Does that sound like somebody who knows what they're talking about?
He clearly was unburdened by what has been.
Sure. He's coconut pilled then, because that's the kind of stuff that'll end up helping her. Now, there is a gender gap, historic. And there's a gender gap on the other side with women that are going to be voting in droves for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. But continuing to patronize someone who I'm pretty sure can take care of his car is not an effective strategy. I return to the fact that if you are going to have people going to a voting booth who don't necessarily like either candidate, and one of them has a -13 approval rating, and one of them has a +3, that they're probably going to pick the person who has the +3.
You say he can take care of his car. Did he take care of his battalion? I mean, already.
Go ahead.
He stretches with, he's got a problem with the truth.
People do not think that Tim Walz is a bad guy, no matter how many times you call him
a lot of people
coach.
think he's got a lot of stolen valor in there and a lot of lies and locked a lot of people down. But it's not about him at this point.
Well,
crypto is an investment, Jesse. Donald Trump has been involved in it from NFTs, Bitcoins, along with the the chain, the Bitcoin, what is the blockchain. But I think what's interesting is he had this event before Kamala did, and he ended up buying burgers for everybody in Bitcoins, and he was able to go around and talk to everybody, where she then has a closed-door meeting with Wall Street and won't say anything publicly because she can't be sure that what she says is going to be accurate.
You mean like how she goes into 7-Eleven and clears the place out and then tries to find Doritos? Listen, no one thinks he's a man. Everybody knows real men don't put tampons in little boys' locker rooms,
There was
Jessica.
not one tampon in
Everybody
a boys' bathroom.
knows that.
Not
Real
one.
men don't think Tim Walz is a real guy, okay? We want him to fix the economy, not his carburetor. This isn't going to work with people. No one thinks he's tough. No one thinks she's tough. And the reason she's doing Bitcoin is because she's pandering. She doesn't know what Bitcoin is. She can't explain it.
Do you?
But neither can I.
Right. Okay.
All right? But she doesn't understand it. And basically, by stealing all of Trump's policies, from the no taxes on tips to leaving up all of the tariffs on China to the wall now, she wants the wall and all this stuff, Bitcoin now, she's just admitting she was wrong about everything. She's just admitting Trump was right and I was wrong. And now everybody thinks, well, lady, you just have bad instincts. Why are we going to vote for you if you were wrong about everything? That's a great face, Jessica.
Okay.
Very, very
Dana,
insulting face.
I'm going to ask you to wrap it up.
Okay. So part of this was about on how liberals are suggesting that their conservative outreach is so effective. Because there was one headline over the weekend that said Kamala co-ops conservative culture with camo hats. Now, do you think anybody who is in conservative America is saying, yeah, I was worried when you said you wanted to confiscate our guns, force entry into our houses, to check on our guns and ban our trucks and farming equipment, but when you put on that camo hat, I mean,
everything.
I am just all for you. Like, to me, that's not working. It did disturb me that both at the RNC and the DNC conventions, there was no mentions of agriculture, no focus on the farmers and ranchers of this country who deserve a lot more attention. The messaging from the conservatives has been better, and Donald Trump talked about them today, specifically, in particular, to farmers and ranchers, and specifically about China trying to buy up farming land and how that was going to stop. I'm sure Kamala Harris would also say, okay, well, I'm for that too at this point. But they are the backbone of America. Energy is the backbone of America, and they deserve a lot more attention. Camo hats are definitely not going to be enough to do that.
All right.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.